And now for your weekly dose of metal. Here are your hosts, Morgan Danielle and Luco Blaze on The Metal Experience.
Woo! All right, we just heard Cast the First Stone by Architects of Ruin. Catch them playing July 19th with I Hate God at the Forge in Joliet. Buy the tickets off them and support your scene. So Architects of Ruin is a fairly new band too, so that's a brand new track.
They're recording, yes.
Okay. And then we heard a track by Glass Hands, and that was Struggle to Sleep, and that's off their brand new album, Dive, that Morgan tells me dropped. It dropped this past weekend.
It dropped?
It dropped.
It was
the drive
so
tour
hot.
starts this Saturday in DeKalb, Illinois at the House Cafe. We will be hitting, and then they will be hitting many venues in and around the Midwestern U.S., and be sure to check the dates on the event tab on their Facebook. That was Glass Hands. So Architects of Ruin and Glass Hands. I am Luco Blaze with Morgan Danielle. Sitting next to me is Charlie the Chuckle Factory. And we just heard, what? And we are here with Tenebrism. Why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves and what you do in the band and who we're missing tonight.
I'm Wilder. I play guitar and lead vocals.
I'm Brandon, and I play drums, assault, and battery.
Ooh, that's a good one. We haven't had that one yet.
Assault battery.
So tell us a little bit about the backstory of the band and
First,
Tenebrism. What is it? What does it mean?
No bassist.
No, they fuck
Nice.
everything up for us.
Nice.
Nice.
So give us the backstory. How did Tenebrism
That's what I just
become
said.
Tenebrism?
With a band called Ackercock.
What kind of cock?
Acres of it.
Acres.
Doing guitar lessons, my teacher knew Brandon as one of the people who liked a lot more extreme metal out of most of his friends. And when I discovered the band Ackercock, I told my teacher. And my teacher told Brandon, I've got this student that likes the band Ackercock. And Brandon's like, oh, nobody likes these guys. I've got to meet this guy. So
I've heard one of their songs.
Pretty
is it
brutal.
called Leviathan?
It is.
He'll look it up.
Let me look.
It's a parking garage with some chick with huge tits.
That strips almost like a
Yes.
stripper. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that video. Everybody knows that video.
That's the jam.
Mention girl in a parking garage with big tits. It gets them every time.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I'm going to have to look this up.
Spell the band name for us.
Akercocke.
I almost wore their shirt tonight, and I'm wishing that I did.
Oh.
I was hunting for it, but I already know it's in the hamper, so it's gone.
That was a fail on both of our behalves.
I just typed in AK and Ackercock comes up immediately.
Are you
Nice.
kidding?
Ackercock comes up immediately. Where's Kurt when you need him?
No, seriously. He's missing what he was born to do.
The show already has an NC-17 rating. Continue.
But my teacher had me get a hold of Brandon, and we talked a little bit about influences, thing that we liked. And at the time, I was writing stuff trying to sound like Entombed, to dismember the whole Swedish scene. Sent 2 tracks to Brandon, and he's like, "Ooh, is your mom rocking out to Malevolent Creation while you were still in the womb or something?" I remember that message. We talked a little bit more, and we're just like, hey, you just want to set up like a jam session? Or I came out to Fort Knox with my guitar. We tried out those tracks after he listened to them a couple times. We clunked through them. It was horrible, but worth it. And we was like, you want to just start a band? And that's where things kicked off, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I was already doing the Blank Standard, which had fizzled, as I was mentioning earlier. So that just basically turned into a project. I was also doing my rock band, Libria, which was doing somewhat of a busy schedule, but not really. So I definitely wanted to do more death metal stuff because that's what I grew up really loving, and especially the old school stuff since I was obsessed with Dismember and Entombed and all those bands. So that's what we set out to do initially, old school shit. And then the more we jammed, the more seriously we took it, and writing started just taking different shape and going in different directions. So we just kept at it. And then we've had a couple different secondary guitar players, and then my buddy Kurt, who I've known for like 15 years.
Coitus.
Yes, Coitus. He felt like the perfect addition to the band, so finally coerced him into trying out, and then that's where we're at now.
Yeah, it took Kurt 2 weeks to learn the first collections of songs we had. Where we had a member from the bands Panzer and Mortatorium, Andrew Oosterbahn, join right away, and he was doing really good for a while, and then he realized he wanted to focus on the two bands he was in then. We said fine, and he had been showing one of his buddies the riffs that he had learned from us, just to give him kind of like a head start when he joined, or let's say auditioned for Tenebrism. We weren't too satisfied with his performance and stuff, so we asked, like, no, we're gonna keep looking for another guitarist. And at that time, we had Kurt jamming with Brandon. Brandon's like, Kurt's doing really well. Let's have him come out and do a full band practice. And we played with him. I was impressed, and we said, want to join the band? And was Kurt like, okay.
Sounds about right.
How long ago was this?
Kurt joined in 16?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so this lineup's been pretty solid for quite a while.
Yeah, this has been the lineup.
Yeah, the most consistent.
This is the only lineup we've ever performed with live, so this is the band at the point.
Noise.
Yeah.
Now, what is Tenebrism, and how did you come up with that name?
Tenebrism is an art term I learned in art class in college, and it is used as, or you use it to describe a murky or uneven Apache transition from dark to light. Originally, we were going to go with a really old school sounding title called Nihilistic Tenebrae, and Tenebrae is Latin for darkness because it's metal. But I felt that was a better name for the band because we were going from really gritty death metal like Entombed and stuff. We wanted like attitude to more progressive, so Tenebrism kind of seems like a gradient in light to dark, and we could do whatever we want, and this title would still keep its meaning. Like, you don't have like a band name Skull Squisher and then start playing lighter stuff later on and stuff.
I like the name Skull Swisher.
Skull Squisher. I'm sure there is a band called that in this world. If you've thought of it, it probably exists.
I'm going to look it up on a break.
Soul Squisher.
Soul Squisher.
We should have
Skull Squisher.
Yes.
Should have went with Corpse Smasher.
Corpse Smasher. Or Corpse Master.
And so you guys have a recording. You guys brought music tonight we're going to play. What is the recording you guys brought?
Well, we've got 2 EPs out at this point in time. The first one, which I'm assuming is what is being played first, is that aforementioned old school sounding material. So it's super Dismember, early Death record sounding kind of stuff. Those songs are like when we first started jamming. They might be the first 2 songs that we ever jammed even.
Yeah, the first and the last song on that EP are the first 2 things I sent to Brandon, and we've had them ever since.
Yeah.
They worked so well.
So that's why we were like, okay, first EP should be the old stuff to try to like get it out of the way. Because at this point, by the time we recorded that, we already had a whole bunch of other different sounding stuff. So that's what that's going to be. The second EP is the later of that kind of material. So it's still old school sounding, but you can tell there's something else going on.
And then where did you guys record? What's the names of these CDs, and when did they come out?
The first one was 2016, and it's just a self-titled, just called Tenebrism, with our logo on the front. That's it. No special graphics or anything. And the second one, released last year,
Yes.
2017, is called Sunken, and it has a bit more of a an underwater, I guess, visuals on the album cover because we're trying to go off. Like, we were writing Cthulhu themed lyrics. We wanted to have something about the ocean or whatever.
Release the Kraken. type
Release
of-
the
Yes.
Kraken, yes.
And how many tracks are on the self-titled?
Self-titled are 3 tracks, not including the intro track. And the second one, Sunken, has 2 tracks. The intros are all integrated into those recordings.
Okay. Well, why don't we go ahead and introduce the Metal Experience World to Tenebrism? Why don't we play? Why don't we start from the beginning and work our way through? So why don't we play the first song? What's the first track? And it has the intro with it.
It's just called Intro.
Okay. Intro. And does that go into?
It took a really long time to come up with that
Yeah.
title.
It did.
Does that go into another track? then?
It's kind of like the way I produced the album was to be like kind of like seamless, where every song melds into the next one with a little interlude track that me and Brandon worked on. So, the intro just builds up and slams into the first track.
Well, why don't we do the intro into the first track then? What's the first actual track then called?
Promulgation of Hatred.
Whoa. What was that word?
Promulgation of Hatred. You're gonna have to ask Brandon because I didn't write the lyrics to this.
How do you spell that word?
Oh, God.
He's got the phone out.
Yeah.
PROMULGATIOL.
Yep. Means to promote or make widely known an idea or cause.
That's
this
the Metal
case-
Experience.
In this case, hatred.
Well, why don't we go ahead and play those the intro into Promulgation.
There's more to it, but okay, here we go.
Sorry, what was
Here's
it?
more
Promulgation.
Tenebrism. Here's music playing now.
Hey everybody, this is Endostalgia at the Metal Experience, and our music will make you shit your pants.
All right, we just heard a Tenebrism track that was so brutal. That was off the self-titled album that came out in 2016. That was the intro into Promulgation of Hatred. I'm Luca Blaze with Morgan Danielle. Sitting next to me is the chin hair of the Chin Chuckle, the Charlie Chuckle Factory.
What's that?
And that was a Tenebrism track, like I just said. So we are rocking out here in the dungeon of Fits of Spare Keys with Tenebrism. And that was some tasty riffage, some doomy, dark, metal-y, tasty riffage. What's that song about?
Butterflies and rainbows mainly.
I knew it.
That's what it sounded
We
like.
we literally say butterfly in that song.
Actually, I was deep in my Kafka period at that point in time.
Your what
in
period?
terms of writing lyrics.
Costco?
Kafka?
Oh, what's Kafka?
Franz Kafka, he wrote this very famous piece called The Metamorphosis. And at that point in my life, I was really interested in changing who I was because I wasn't happy in my situation. So it was basically about absorbing all the things that you fucking hate and letting it fester inside you and turning into something different.
And as the song says, turning into a macabre butterfly.
Because in The Metamorphosis, the main character wakes up as a roach for no reason. It's a very strange, drug-fueled type of story. I highly recommend reading it if you have not read it.
What was it called again?
The Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka.
Yeah, very interesting.
I never read it in high school or college, and my brother gifted me the book, so
Why
I read
not?
it. I read it in one sitting. I'm like, okay.
How long is it?
It's not very long, like less than 100 pages.
Okay,
Oh,
that's a good read.
Nice short story.
Yeah.
Short stories are good.
Short, but not sweet.
Like all good death metal, short and brutal.
Noise.
So to do the type of vocals that you do, because I don't think I've really asked too many people this question, what techniques do you use?
Loathing and the diaphragm. I don't know how to explain it. On this EP is the only the only recording we've done that I use my obituary vocals and stuff, which is I'm gonna back away from the mic really quick.
Oh, nice.
Which we used across the entire EP just because it's like it works with that gnarly sound that we went with on this recording. I don't know. It's a lot of it's like right behind the tongue is where I feel it comes from, and I don't use the diaphragm to push it. I use that with my growls and stuff, which is on the newer material.
hey, because using your diaphragm is louder, right?
Right, and if you use your throat, you will hurt yourself. So you
Yeah.
use diaphragm for the power, throat to shape the power.
Charlie, take that all in.
I have the power.
So for some of the deeper growls, I know that the other vocalist in the room has other techniques maybe too. Do you?
My ears are burning. Are you talking about me?
Yeah. Hint, hint. Chime in. No, you have some lows going for sure.
Yes,
So
that's the only thing that I can do. I mainly do two versions. For all the stuff that I did for
Wait,
these EPs, I did like the inhale type just for texture purposes, basically.
Yeah, we did it to make more parts more emphasized with the depth and stuff.
Yeah. So it's kind of like what a lot of like these super brutal drummers, I mean, not drummers, I'm so used to saying that, super brutal vocalists do just to get like, that toilet bowl low, You just, it's kind of weird, but you're literally just like inhale and like he was talking about, shape it with your throat. So instead of just being like, you're
Or where I go exhale, Brandon's doing an inhale. So you're actually, kind of like straining the throat and just inhaling as consistently as you can, otherwise you will hurt yourself even more with inhales.
Yeah. You can kind of feel it in your guts while you're trying to pull it in.
So I originally thought you said two. I do two virgins. I was like, wait, what?
No, thank you.
That's how we do.
With my vocals, I usually just do two virgins.
Sacrifices before trying to conjure up the lows.
Perfect. Now, where did you record your music at?
In my bedroom.
In your bedroom. Any particular spot that worked the best? Any better position to record in?
Dead center in the middle of the room. But no acoustic
Close.
amps or drums. We just to get it out of the way, Brandon recorded a scratch track in our practice room. Then I brought those home and just programmed exactly what he did. Like, no going on, but I could do that better than him. None of that. I just do the amp simulators and stuff just to get the EP done because we've been sitting on the material for so long. We just want it out of the way so we could, the metamorphosis of us from brutal death metal into progressive death metal.
And how long did it take you to record?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
It's only 3 songs, and wasn't that hard because we have all the songs down pretty much.
Oh, wow.
What about where you released it? Do you have physical copies, or do you just have everything on the internet?
It's just all on Bandcamp at this point in time.
Yeah, just cheap, just get it out there. We didn't have the money we wanted to drop on physical copies because we were just like, this is just cleaning up shop so we can get to the stuff we really want to sell.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, what's the reality of somebody really buying those demos? In my mind, it's not very likely. It'd be more that we would press the discs and give them away at shows, probably. We talked about having both EPs released on one disc just to, like, give away or try to sell, but still haven't done that.
Nope. Just been so busy writing new
A
stuff.
split double EP.
Yes, exactly.
A split with yourself.
Nice.
Yes.
I like that idea.
Words are
Jesus.
flowing tonight.
There's just so much going on here right now. Well, let's play another track. I want to hear more. Your track number 3 is a little scary with the title
Which
because I
one is
don't
this?
like snakes.
The altar of the snakes.
Altar of those.
It had to be
what
snakes.
does- yeah. Snakes? I hate snakes.
Why did it have to be snakes?
Yeah. What is Altar of Those Snakes? What a strange title.
I mean, it was basically after watching Indiana Jones, I was inspired to write a song about snakes.
Which
It was something
movie?
to be like hatred of power or something.
Pretty much, yeah.
Which Indiana Jones?
Which Indiana Jones? The first one, of course.
Oh.
That's my favorite one.
Oh yes,
The best of the best.
the best.
So this is track 3, Altar of Those Snakes. Here we go. Tenebrism.
And now, back to the metal experience.
Did you say hookers and blow?
No, I said the metal experience.
That's not nearly as good.
Fuck you! Will you wear the blood? No, no.
We are back. I'm Morgan Danielle with Luco Blaze, Chuckling Charlie, and our friends in Tenebrism. And that was Altar of Those Snakes. Altar of the Snakes. So there's a lot of like noises coming in and out of your songs that I've noticed. This sounded like that you were in hell forging with metal and chains, and there's growling of demons.
It's a very good observation.
Trying to think of what you used to make those noises, unless you visited the underworld and captured them in person.
We'll never tell.
So how did you get those sound effects to be put in there?
I was
You
in
have to tell. I'm
I was in an
asking you.
audio class, and one of the assignments was to sample as many things as we could.
Nice.
And I can't remember what half the sounds are, but the sound of that roaring noise is not an animal. It's actually a chair being slid across a linoleum floor with a shit ton of reverb put over it.
Oh, nice.
I would have never
How
guessed.
metal.
It is a metal chair.
So metal.
Of course.
Who's the most metal kid here?
Titus Kitty, you mean?
Titus Kitty.
Yeah.
I
But
still have no idea what that means.
Titus Kitty?
It's like
Better than saying
That's-
Titus pussy.
That's a conversation for another time.
I think Morgan just hit the nail on the head with that one.
She definitely did, yes.
Obviously, it's a joke about a vagina.
Okay, I get it now.
Okay.
Yes. Finally, I understood something.
That's what it started off as, and then he got a shirt made that said Titus Kitty Bro, and
And
then he
then it
put
just
a
got
picture of his
weird.
cat on it. So it turned into like this innocent kind of thing.
Oh my!
It
goodness.
started off so dirty.
The whole time. It's been years. I've had no idea what that meant.
Well,
Sorry.
now you do.
That's yeah.
Well,
No one has any idea what we're talking about.
it's about that time in the episode. Charlie, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time for Chatting with Chuckles.
What's going on, guys? It's Chuckles.
Chuckles sounds a little drunk right now.
Chuckles has had a couple, two, three. Couple, two, three. What do you got for us tonight?
I got some one tour news and then some shows coming up.
Okay. What's the tour news is?
Incubus. Had their tour started today in Spokane, Wisconsin.
Okay.
Stops at the Rage this Friday. If you've already got tickets, if not, it's sold out. And they're
And you know
playing.
so well.
And they're playing with Spirit Animal.
Spirit Animal, huh?
Never heard of them.
Okay. What else we got? I was just doing the thing.
Oh. This September is Right Fest. They will be playing there for one night only. Right Fest is September 14th to the
One night.
and to the 16th.
One night only?
One night only.
Damn it.
And their tour ends in Sacramento, California, October 14th for Aftershock Fest.
Okay. What else we got? So that's the only tour news we got?
Yeah.
All right, you just got some other metal news?
Oh, yeah.
All right, what other metal news you got?
This Saturday at the Rave, Ice Cube is playing. Show is at 8.
That's a show now. That's a tour, technically.
It's a show coming up.
Okay. You going to the Ice Cube show?
Not sure yet.
Charles will be there.
I got told that I didn't win tickets at the rave, but I could get discounted tickets for entering the contest.
Ooh.
Not that I care.
Is this body count or is this Ice Cube?
Just Ice Cube.
Just Ice Cube.
Body count and Ice Tea.
Oh my god.
That's what I thought,
I
too.
just did that. Holy
That's what I
shit.
thought too when I entered the contest.
Please
I was like,
edit
okay,
that out. I'm
Ice
so
Cube.
embarrassed.
No, it's okay.
It's actually Vanilla Ice.
Yeah, yeah.
We could only hope.
Too bad there's not a Coke joke on top of that. All right, continue.
And next Tuesday, Black Label Society is going to be playing at the Forge.
I feel like he just played there.
The Forgate?
Yeah. Maybe I'm wrong.
Hey, he might have.
You might be wrong, though, also.
Yeah,
It could be.
I'm always wrong.
Not what I was saying. I was saying I'm pretty sure somebody came on here recently and was like, oh, I saw Black Label Society at the Forge. I felt like that just happened. Maybe it's been a while and I'm just remembering things.
Show is at 7:30 and doors are at 6:30.
Okay. Who's he playing with? You know?
Himself.
Just himself? 14 hours of just straight Zach Wild.
Not what I
And
meant.
pinch harmonics for days.
Is he covering any... What's that band called?
Oh, Steel Dragon.
I hope he covers some Steel Dragon. You know what I mean. The rock star.
Stand up and shout!
Good one, Morgan. Thanks for that.
You're welcome.
Tomorrow, Gemini Syndrome is playing at the Forge.
Gemini Syndrome?
Yep. That show is also at 7:30. Doors are at 6:30.
Okay.
You okay over there, Morgan?
I'm uncomfortable.
Oh.
Oh. What else you got for us?
And then the last show that I got for this Friday the 13th.
What?
Double Driver is playing at the Forge as well.
Are you going? He'll be there. Charlie's.
You can buy tickets off of Consume the Divide. It's one of their last show. Well, it is their last show of 2018 as of right now. And they're selling tickets for cheap. And I'm pretty sure No Conviction's playing that too.
I believe so.
And Product of Hate is too.
Charlie
something
made the
like
face
that.
that he's going to that show.
Really? I thought it was a constipated face.
That was the face that he was going to the show.
Like that liquid cheese that he ate for dinner is just rushing through him now.
Oh man.
Cracking and cheese.
All right. Any more newses?
That's all I got.
Okay. And you got a band. We're gonna play some music. What do you got?
Music.
That Double Driver show that is also show is at 7:30. Doors at 6:30.
Okay.
There's a lot of 6:30, 7:30s going on.
Oh
there.
yeah.
And what'd you bring for us to listen to?
I got a band only from Greece.
Only from Greece?
All the way.
All
the way from Greece.
You should say only from Greece.
Only
though.
from
Only from Greece.
Only from the movie Grease.
Just the greasiest. I would totally say this if I was in a band from Greece. We are the greasiest.
What do you got?
That's a good one.
That's so dumb.
Woo, what's in this water?
Are you sure it's water?
I don't know anymore.
Are
I'm
you-
just slap happy.
Are you sure it's not vodka?
If I could straight vodka, drink straight vodka, I'd be a totally different person.
Vodka water. All right, from Greece, who is it? Tell me already.
Bionic Origin.
Bionic Origin.
Origin, not orgy.
Bionic Orgy.
Origin.
Bionic Origin from Greece. They're so greasy. The greasiest.
We're going to listen to Harvester of Wrecking Souls.
Wow.
That is brutal. This is perfect for a Tenebrism collaboration.
Wrecking Souls.
All right, here we go. Get ready for the greasiest metal tonight. Bro.
Well, I expect that type of language at Denny's, but not here. Well, that's too freaking bad. You hear me?
Because we're throwing it back to Morgan and Luco on the Metal Experience.
What's going on? We just heard Harvester of Wrecking Souls from Bionic Origin.
The greasiest metal. That was fucking awesome. I really like that.
Side of tzatziki sauce with that, please.
That was
They're
good.
a European band.
And the jokes keep coming. Love it. Well, we are back with the Metal Experience. We are hanging with Tenebrism tonight, and more music is still to be played throughout the evening. So, where are you guys at now with music? I know that you said that these are your 2 EPs now. When do you think that the next one will be done?
That's certainly a good question.
Next year? Question mark.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of new material. Basically, all the instruments are finished, I would say.
Yeah.
Like, the structures of the songs we've been writing have been... We've settled on them, it seems like.
Still finagling with that last one, but it's on its way. It's
Yeah.
pretty much done.
But it's about 7 songs, I would say.
7 songs.
Not including interlude tracks, so we're maybe going to write another one. But the main hurdle is vocals, I would say, at this point in time.
Is that going to be an EP as well, or are you going to try and make
No.
that album?
Yeah, we're going to try to make this a full-length album.
Yeah.
So 7 songs, maybe an 8th one. Definitely going to be at least 2 to 3 interlude tracks. Don't want it to be too super long, but long enough to be more than an EP. But yeah, vocals is the thing that we've been thinking about a lot. Lyrics, trying to come up with catchy vocal patterns that aren't too insane to perform live, because this music is much more difficult to perform, especially for all instruments, guitar and drums. I'm like at my max capacity of playing this kind of material, and I know he's been challenging himself a lot with the guitar parts as well. So
Yeah, it's like it's strenuous trying to put vocal patterns over these messed up riffs that the vocals are too complex, then the right hand's picking gets messed up, and vice versa. If I mess up the picking, the vocals get thrown off. So I gotta settle onto some parts that are comfortable, but it's not like where the vocals are basically copying what the riff's pattern is. They're trying to keep them independent, where someone will go, is this a guitar vocalist or a vocalist and guitarist and stuff, trying to keep everything as their own instrument, own texture.
So you gave yourself a challenge.
Always.
Nice. Do you have any album title names in mind yet, or are you still working on that?
no, all that stuff is still tentative at this point. I don't think we've even come up with really any lyrics for any of the new stuff at all. I've been trying
Song
to.
6 has Hobbs End.
Yeah.
I think we're going to keep that one.
Yeah, one song that's not been recorded but is just after these 2 EPs that we wrote. I started coming up with lyrics that were based off of John Carpenter's In the Mouth of Madness, if you've ever seen that movie. Nice. It's one of my favorite horror movies of all time. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend it.
Oh, yes.
It's kind of a bastard child in his filmography. I don't know why. It has fucking Sam Neill in it, for starters, who's actually a really good actor.
From Jurassic Park?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Considering, a B-level horror movie, essentially. It's basically about... He works for the publishing company, and this super famous author, like Stephen King level author, horror writer, he goes missing, but his novels take a life of their own, essentially, and like readers who read his material basically not just go insane, but are like transported into the worlds he creates.
This sounds like a really good movie.
Yes.
I want to see it.
The name of the town that Sam Neill is lured to is called Hobbs End, where terrible things happen. So
I want to see this movie.
Considering how brutal and dark this song is, I'm
yeah.
like, this seems like a good fitting title. Because you don't really know what that means. It's like, what the hell does Hobbs End mean? But if you know some of the backstory, then...
If you know the movie, then you know what we're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to look on Netflix right now, see if it's streaming.
All right.
The
It's
new
not on
special collector's edition Blu-ray has just been dropped, so it is probably around.
Sweet.
I know it's
I'm
not
definitely
on Netflix.
gonna need to watch that with you, Luco. Dig it out of storage.
I would say it's a purchase, not just a rental.
Nope, it's not currently streaming on Netflix.
Don't you own it?
I would say I don't think any of the John Carpenter stuff is streamable. I'm pretty sure he has it all on lockdown. There are some of them that are on Amazon, but you still got to spend like $5 to rent it. So why not just spend $10 and buy it?
Now-
Support John Carpenter.
I know that we've mentioned
Hashtag
before
Halloween 3.
some of the stuff that you were going with when you guys tried to record of what your influences were, but what were some of the first bands that got you into metal?
Oh God.
You go first.
Well, considering my age,
Which no one knows. You can tell us.
Some new metal bands, like Korn, definitely is up there. Metallica, Megadeth. The first metal CD I think I ever had was Ozzy's No More Tears from my older brother.
Nice.
So shit like that, and then I was obsessed with MTV, and then Beavis and Butthead. I remember seeing this Carcass music video on one of their episodes, and me and my buddy went out to the mall and got Heartwork right afterwards, and we were like blown away by that record. So that started going down the path of brutal death metal, because I think we were in 6th grade when we found out about that, and then Cannibal Corpse. So once you find out about Cannibal Corpse, then we found out about Slayer.
Then you're entering a world of hurt.
Yes, exactly. It was nonstop going to the mall, and I had a buddy in middle school. His parents just didn't give a shit about what he got, so he would be like, grab the most offensive album covers of all time, and they're like, yeah, sure, whatever. So it's like, all right, getting Tomb of the Mutilated when we were like 12.
Nothing says I love you more by buying your son or daughter a Gore album.
My mom was like, fuck no. I'm like, how about Slayers and Diabolus and Musica? She's like, okay, that's not as bad. I'm like, yes.
Nice. So have you ever seen that one Beavis and Butthead episode where they, you know how they watch the music videos?
Yeah.
And a Morbid Angel song came on.
Oh, whoa. I know what you're talking about.
Is that a bear?
Yeah, they're like, whoa, is that a bear? Yeah. That was fucking hilarious. I just had to bring that up. We're talking about Beavis and Butthead. Whoa, was that a bear?
But yeah, that was pre-internet, so it was going to Sam Goody and looking through the metal section and be like, that looks cool. Let's buy that. Check that out.
Best Buy had a pretty decent metal
They did.
selection back
Way
in the day.
back
in the day, they definitely did. And dare I say, Circuit City even had good
Ooh,
CDs.
I did buy a couple
Really?
from Circuit City.
Tower Records was pretty sweet too.
I never really did go to Tower Records, honestly.
They had some deep cuts in there. The deepest.
I had the greasiest.
How do you guys buy my music? Let's try this again. How do you
The deepest.
usually buy music now?
How do you buy your greasy music?
Are you still old school? You still buy it CD?
All right,
Do you
so
still-
I have a shitload of CDs still, and I still do buy CDs. Typically, like, for instance, the new Revocation album is up for pre-order right now. I pre-ordered the CD and shirt combo. I usually buy CDs at shows if it's available. It seems like a lot of bands, well, most metal bands seem to at least still be producing physical CDs. So I try to buy them when I can. A lot of bands I like, though, they aren't. They're just kind of doing what we're doing with Bandcamp or just going straight onto Spotify. So it really depends on who it is. I do try to buy physical media, though. Running out of space. I have like 1,300 CDs.
Holy
maybe,
shit.
Maybe more. I'm not sure.
I think I'm. Damn, that's a lot. I don't think I'm that. Man,
No, you do not
I
have
wouldn't even
1300.
have that many.
I used to work at a store called the Music Recyclery with Kurt, who's not here.
Coitus?
Coitus. And I also worked at a record label, United Guttural Records, which was the record label of Flesh Grind Singer. He had that. So I got paid in CDs.
Nice.
So I would work at a record store,
and get free CDs.
waste my entire check on CDs, and then go and work for CDs.
That sounds like a good deal.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're broke,
At that time in my life, I was definitely.
but you're rich in CDs.
yes, brutal death metal CDs.
All right, so what got me into metal was first from I didn't know what, like, you know, when you're a kid, you don't know what you're supposed to listen to. Like, you feel like there's something that everyone kind of goes along. My sister were listening to Britney Spears. So I tried that for about a year and a half.
You handled it for a year and a half?
Yes. And I listened to it
Wow.
intentionally for a year and a half until I heard Linkin Park that was a little bit more in sync with, I don't know, the emotions I want to hear in music, until I heard Metallica's Master
I
of
thought he
Puppets
was
for
going
the
to go
first
backwards to Backstreet Boys, but it's okay.
Oh, no. I never touched the Backstreet Boys.
But you touched
I never
Britney
touched
Spears?
And they never touched me, so I'm fine with it.
So Metallica, Master of Puppets.
Master of Puppets, and I realized you could have speed in music and still it being heavy. It was actually, like Brandon, I started out with a lot of new metal, like, you know, Linkin Park, Slipknot, Korn. I didn't think it could get any heavier than that. I listened to Metallica, and I was like, oh, it can be heavy and fast. And then I started discovering, like, black metal. I wanted something darker, something more cold.
No more of
and
that Britney
grim.
Spears shit.
And that sated me for about 2 years. And I did not like death metal at the time. I thought death metal was, like, heavy nonsense. It's just, you know, brutish music just for brutish or brutality's sake. Until I heard the band Bloodbath. Ugh. And it gave me the gateway, or helped me understand that death metal isn't just noise all the time. It can have the groove, it can have structure. And I went back, started listening to Behemoth that I originally thought was just noise. And Bloodbath basically set me on the median between black and death metal and stuff. Like, those are the two genres I say that I venture through.
Now,
today.
how did you find Bloodbath?
With their hit single, Eaton.
Their hit single. Okay.
The only hits.
Morgan hates that song so much.
I love that song. I mean, the record, like, Nightmares Made Flesh is cool. I prefer Resurrection Through Carnage because it's a little more, it's a little
My
grittier.
guy.
It's a little grittier. I was like, I like that. Which is what inspired the horrible guitar tone on our first EP, the HM2 Boss heavy metal pedal. But I forgot where I was going with that.
Just your love for Bloodbath.
Yes.
And how you found Bloodbath with their hit single, Eaton.
Eaton.
Hit single.
Then I realized, and then I found "Cry My Name" off of Resurrection Through Carnage. Like, oh, this album's even darker. I personally like really, really dark, evil-sounding music. Nothing I own besides Fintroll is slightly happy. Yeah, and Bloodbath brought me to Opeth because I didn't realize, like, when I first heard Opeth, I was like, oh, this kind of pretentious. He's got a really light voice and stuff. I started with the wrong album when I was in a death metal mood, which was not Deliverance, Damnation.
Oh,
very light album. I was not ready for that at the time. It's like, it doesn't have blast beats or brutal vocals. Then listen to Bloodbath, and someone's like, you know, the guy from Opeth is in Bloodbath. I was like, hang on, he can do these vocals? And I went back to Opeth, listened to all that stuff, and I started to generate a more of an appreciation for riding between light and heavy music. And then that led me to bands like Acker Cock, like we've said.
Cock.
Yes.
Keyword cock.
The cock.
And, Dark Fortress, Septic Flesh, bands that try to blur genres a little bit, be a little more fluid. And that's kind of what inspires Tenebrism right now, is trying to write stuff that flows, has valleys, has mountains, has brutality and atmosphere, instead of just being brutal all the time. Because some bands are brutal all the time, and I actually start falling asleep at shows. Too much double bass, too much blast. Too much blast. As much as I love blast beats, you can ask Brandon.
It's true.
How do you feel about Flesh God Apocalypse?
I haven't listened to too much of them.
I saw them the first couple times they came over, and I really liked those first 2 albums, Oracles and Mafia, I think. But then after that, they just totally lost me.
I mean, Kurt still loves them too.
I think from a drumming standpoint, I just can't take it because it's just nonstop shit. I prefer more grooves, I guess. And it's just nonstop double bass and blasting. It just bores the shit out of me when I hear that kind of stuff.
Nonstop 1,000 miles per hour.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
I mean, like, the musicality of it is cool, and I can appreciate that kind of stuff, especially because I still do play guitar, so I appreciate that element of it. But at the same time, it's like, just have a drum machine.
In small doses.
Yeah, exactly.
A song or two.
Like, if they played a 20-minute set, it'd be the most amazing thing I'd ever see, right? But like 45 minutes of that, it's like, no way.
Come on, all right.
Yeah.
It's exhausting to listen to that and to feel like when you're at a show, the pounding rumble of bass and double bass drums of it kind of massages you to sleep and stresses you out at the same time. But about purchasing music, I still get CDs whenever I love a band so much that I have to own it, because what are you going to do when iTunes goes down?
Exactly.
You're not going to have that music anymore.
One day the internet will collapse and we'll be in a land of dark. And what will we have? Our CDs.
Our CDs.
Yay. Well, why don't we go ahead and play another track by you guys? What's the next track you guys want to play?
Obsidian Foundry.
Crazy names. I love it.
We go through a list of metal title cliches, and we do the complete opposite if we can help it.
So is this, do you guys come up with the title first or the lyrics and you get from the lyrics the title, or?
Or do you guys...
kind of both, really.
Yeah, for these 3, I wrote the lyrics and song titles exclusively. And I did come up with the titles first. I don't know, they just kind of like popped into my head. I'm like, that sounds cool. Let's see what I can do with that. So this one, The Obsidian Foundry, is kind of like another H.P. Lovecraft sort of inspired thing, where it's about stumbling into a foundry that is run by these cloaked, faceless figures that are literally manufacturing darkness.
Okay.
Light, happy material.
All right, let's do it. Obsidian Foundry.
This is Jeff. This is Linus. We're in the band Nephilim. You're listening to the Metal Experience.
And we are back with the Metal Experience. I'm Morgan Danielle with Luco Blaze, Charles, and the Chuckle Factory. And that was another song by Tenebrism, and that was called
Obsidian Foundry.
Perfect. I couldn't have said it any better. I couldn't have, actually, because I can't do those types of vocals. That was awesome.
Morgan, let's hear your best attempt at it.
I can't.
Let's hear it.
Just make
Oh
this
my
sound at first. Just think butthead, and then give it some more gain. That sounds too much.
Obsidian Foundry! That's all I got. That was terrible. Ugh.
I first heard
Terrible.
that vocal style from Brandon. I was like, I need to figure out how to do that.
I was on a heavy ass fix kick at that point.
Asses and cocks. That's all I've been hearing tonight.
Asses and cocks. Yes.
Ass fix cocks. Ass kicks cock.
Damn it. I was thinking of that line from Bernie after reading of what's that guy's name? Is this someone Cox?
Jim
No,
Cox.
that's not how it was. Damn it.
Steve Cox. Steve
Nope.
Cock and Ball Torture.
Not what?
Cock and ball torture.
Sounds like something Derek would
God.
say.
The name's
Terrible.
Jim. Jim Cock and Ball Torture. Nice to meet you. How you doing?
What?
Can you imagine if that was your last name?
No. God.
I could.
Jim Cock and Ball Torture. How you doing?
You're terrible at this. Have you guys had the opportunity to play a lot of live shows as a group, or are those something that you're working on doing more of?
We've had a handful, but honestly, not that many. Like maybe 5 max.
Let's see. I want to say like 6 or 7 shows. Does that feel
Okay.
like too much? No.
I honestly can't recall the exact amount, but it's less than 10. So
I can name all the venues. I just don't know how many times we played.
yeah. So yes, playing shows is kind of a priority at this point, especially to try to test out the new material to see how it works live. See if we have to make any changes before trying to record the shit,
Right.
and just to get more experience playing live.
What venues have you guys played at?
Beat Kitchen, a youth center called the Oasis once.
Oasis,
and quite a
isn't
few.
that up north?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's in Grays Lake in Lake County.
Yeah.
We've played Livewire 3 times.
That sounds right.
I don't know where else. I think that's it.
I think that's it.
Womp womp.
So 5 times.
Def
That's
five.
what I said.
Every once in a while, I listen to, I think it's 95.1, and one of the guys always talks about the Oasis.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Is that the same place?
I wonder if it is the Oasis.
From Grace Lake area,
Grays
right?
Lake.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because 95.1, they're from here, from Chicagoland area all the way up to Milwaukee.
Right, because they like the Austin's Fuel Room, which is in Libertyville.
Yeah.
They don't like it. They love it.
Actually,
Anytime you turn on, they're like, Austin's Fuel Room and Eatery at Butthole.
I'm surprised that place is still around. I haven't heard much about it lately, actually.
You haven't been listening to 95.1 because
No.
that's all they talk about.
Well,
Seriously.
I can't because
It's
my
like, where
radio
the
no
fuck
longer
is this
gets
place? I've never even heard of it. That's all they talk
I
about.
drive past it every time I go to practice.
Yeah? I've
And
never.
is the 95.1 Will Rock van outside?
Oh, yes.
Is it?
Occasionally, but I don't drive past there at night when they have shows, so I don't know.
We should seriously be getting money for promoting them right now. Like, seriously. 95
your
Wheel
money.
Rock, you're on the Metal Experience.
Austin's.
Pay us your money, royalties.
Yeah. Austin's Service and Mr. Brookston. You ever been there, Morgan?
No, I haven't.
Who have you seen there?
Obviously, no one because I haven't been there.
Charlie, are you going there this weekend? He'll be there.
Charlie says no.
Charlie will be
because
there.
Who is there playing? No one. Not worthwhile.
Scott Stapp.
Scott Stapp will be there.
My dad saw Michael Schenker.
Yeah?
Who's Michael Schenker?
Used to be in the Scorpions.
Oh.
My dad's a big fan of Mike. Anytime we get in any type of conversation about music, he's like, "Oh, Michael Schenker." Like,
what
the fuck?
I've never heard him say that once.
It's like he just likes saying the guy's name. That he just like, "Oh, Michael Schenker. Oh, what a great guy, man. He's so good." Who the fuck? What are you talking about? Talking about mowing the lawn, man. What are you talking about?
These are not real stories.
Michael Schenker could
I've
shred
not
that
heard
lawn.
this happen once. All right.
Oh, man, Michael Schenker was there. You'd shred that lawn.
Well, it's about that time for Luco to rock you like a hurricane. So are you ready?
I'm ready to shred that lawn.
Now it's time for
Hey, man, look what I found.
Only on the Metal Experience.
All right, this week and every week is always brought to you by our friends at Imprint Recordings. Your music, your imprint. Visit imprintrecordings.com for more information for all your recording needs. This week, Morgan tells me, she wrote this down for me. We're featuring one of our Songdo winners from June. Songdo, Morgan tells me, is India's largest network of musicians and listeners, and it's its first of its kind platform to provide opportunities to independent artists for getting discovered by promoting their music and performing at the finest venues of live music. Thanks, Morgan. Thanks for the update. You're the best. Michael Schenker once told me
Did your
that.
arm break in the middle of that? You want a little
So
loosey-goosey over
this
it.
week we have from Ranchi/Bangalore, India. The band is Iris 13. We got a twofer for you. The songs twofer are Clairvoyant and Cosmic Fire. Morgan, let's do this.
Yo, what's up, everybody? You got Diggs McNasty,
Timmy D,
Corey Cormander Davidson,
and Jared Ercole from Fools Brew, and we fucking love metal. So listen in to the Metal Experience because there's some cool motherfuckers. Goddammit, ho ho!
All right, again, that was brought to you by Imprint Recordings. Your music, your imprint. Visit imprintrecordings.com for all the information for all your recording needs. And that was, again, a winner from our June Song Do contest. And that was the band Iris 13 from India.
Woo.
And that was Clairvoyant and Cosmic Fire. Check them out on the Facebooks and give them a like. I'm Luca Blaze with Morgan Danielle. Sitting next to me is Charlie, the Chuckle Factory. And we are still rocking out here in the dungeon of Fits and Spare Keys with Tenebrism. That's a very dungeony noise.
It is. It's very creepy.
Have you ever seen House 2?
Oh my God, no. But I remember the VHS box like I saw it yesterday.
But you've never seen it?
But I've never seen it, no.
That noise you made just sounded like the little
it's got like the
little guy.
Severed hand like ringing the doorbell, right?
That's it.
Yeah, that's legendary box art, my friend. But I've never seen the movie.
Oh man, House 1 and House 2 are fucking classics. And you can see them out of order. It doesn't matter.
All right.
House 3, don't bother with it. House 4, also don't bother with. Just
so
one.
It's like Leprechaun.
Leprechaun, you can bother with all of those. They're all a good time.
Leprechaun in the hood.
Leprechaun in the hood. Yeah.
You got to get to Leprechaun. Yeah, you got to get there.
And in space.
Yeah, and in space. You take the journey to get to those movies.
All those movies with a shitload of sequels always end up in space. Leprechaun, Halloween, Hellraiser.
Friday the 13th.
Thanksgiving was supposed to, but they never made it.
Thanksgiving.
Oh, have you never seen Thanksgiving?
Never seen Thanksgiving.
Oh my God, it's a fucking classic. And this is the best part. If you fucking hated the movie, it's only 66 minutes. So at the end of the day, you only fucking wasted
Wasting
66
an hour of your
minutes
life.
of your life. But dude, it doesn't feel like 66 minutes. You go on a fucking epic journey. Thanksgiving, me and my friends watch it every Thanksgiving. Like the day or a couple days before Thanksgiving, we do the Thanksgiving drinking
We didn't
game.
do it this year.
We did? We didn't?
Mm-mm.
I'm going to fucking do it tonight then.
What? No, you're not.
Thanksgiving is about a killer turkey, and he murders people. And he's got great one-liners.
Excellent.
So, yeah, do yourself a favor and check out
Wait, the
Thanksgiving.
drinking game. What's the trigger for you have to take a drink?
One-liners, murders.
Pretty much anything.
Pretty much whatever. The Predator drinking game is way better, though.
Okay, explain that off air.
I need to know what this is.
Come on.
Oh, man,
No. This has to happen now, please.
Oh,
The
my
Predator
God.
drinking game, anytime Billy does anything super Indian, where he's like, ugh, his Indian senses go crazy. Anytime Arnold says a sweet one-liner.
Or Mac.
Yeah. The whole time when they're mowing down the
are you just
the jungle
chugging?
is a waterfall. So you're just fucking chugging. Oh man, what were the rules? There's a fucking ton of them.
Isn't
By the end
it
of the
every
movie,
time
you're
the
fucking shit housed?
every time the
you go to
Predator's
Predator
in
vision,
yeah.
it's a drink.
Anytime.
Oh fuck, man, what were they? There are so many good ones. My favorite though is anytime Billy does anything super Indian. Oh man. Oh fuck, there's so many.
Billy.
Oh, any excessive show of muscles. So like, when they fucking high five in the beginning or when they're pulling down the tree later in the movie
son
when
of a
everyone's
bitch.
fucking jacked. Oh, so good.
I ain't got time to bleed, but I got time to drink.
Oh fuck. What's his name? Jesse the Body. What's his name in that movie? I'm drawing a blank. Dutch. No. That's Arnold. Mac. There's fucking.
I should know this,
I should also know this.
but I don't.
It's my favorite movie of all time. Why don't I know this?
You guys should hang
I'm
out
just-
more
So
often.
anytime he spits, his chew,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
it's a drink.
It's his favorite
Wow,
movie
there's
of all
a lot
time.
of drinking in this movie.
Yeah, you're fucking shithouse by the end.
His shower curtain is Predator.
Oh man, my shower curtain's fucking awesome.
Where, pray tell, did you buy such a sweet shower curtain?
I'm asking for a friend.
I find everything on the internet. You can find anything. One of these days, it's going to lead me down a dark alley, and I'm not coming back. I find literally everything you can ever imagine on the internet.
Everything?
I mean, I have found him some pretty epic stuff that I don't think he'll ever.
I thought I had a
regret
pretty
having.
cool Kraken shower curtain, but this Predator one is definitely taking the cake.
I'm pulling it up right now, and I'm trying to think the rules of the Predator drinking game are up on my Facebook page somewhere. They're from so long ago.
He'll find him and email him to you.
Here we go.
Or tag you in the post.
That's my shower curtain.
Nice.
Right? Is
Oh
that
wait,
fucking
I've seen that one before.
badass though. And there's a window right behind it, so every morning I wake up and I walk out and the sun's blasting through, and it's just a beautiful shower curtain. The only weird thing is
It's like
when
your
I'm
stained
showering,
glass window in
when
your
I'm
bathroom.
showering, it looks like
You're just
that
looking
Arnold is
at
staring
Arnold's
at me.
mouth.
Don't look at me.
If you're running late, do you just play the soundtrack so you hurry up? Dun, 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 dun.
I actually.
Dun, 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 dun.
have
So
the
you know what's
soundtrack.
funny? I bought him the soundtrack for Christmas one year, and he was listening to it driving me to work one day, and the whole time he's talking me play by play through the movie. And I'm like, it's too early for this. Please stop talking. And he's just literally narrating the movie according to the soundtrack. This is when this happens. This is when this happens. And this is what this happens. And I'm like, just shut up.
I've done that with the Empire Strikes Back soundtrack.
We all have those moments. I do that with Pirates of the Caribbean.
And then she's trying to talk to me. I'm like, woman, shut up. I'm watching the movie right now.
Oh, yeah. And I'm like, well, you better not because you're driving. So.
I'm
Stupid.
watching the
I was
movie.
watching the
Yeah.
movie in my head.
In your eyes.
Fred, what do you have a life size of at your house?
Dildo. Life-size dildo.
Really?
You don't?
Charlie's eyes got wide with wonder.
He's like, when can I come over next?
Yeah. You want to see my life-size dildo? You'll be pleasantly.
A life-size dildo according to what
surprised.
size?
Where
According
is
to
it
what?
at? In the basement?
Oh, it's in the
What?
It's in the living room.
You tried to wink, but I'm pretty sure you
don't
just
keep
twitched.
you don't keep your dildos in the living room?
What? Okay. We're hanging out with Tenebrism, and this is an awkward show now.
But the
We still have a
Predator-
couple more tracks to play.
Predator drinking game. I
This
highly
is
recommend it.
Not anything to do with
Fucking hammered.
music anymore. So we finished listening to the first EP, and we still have 2 tracks from the second to play. So let's go into the first song off of the second EP. What's that called, and what is it about?
The first track is called A Vision of Rillier. And Rillier is the sunken kingdom of Cthulhu, where he or she sleeps. I have no idea what the gender is.
Noise.
It's gender fluid, because ocean, right?
Okay. Well, okay.
And the song is about a guy has a delusion that he believes he can swim from the beach of Florida, or from the state of Florida on the coast. He thinks he can swim on one breath to reach Rillier to meet Cthulhu, and halfway through as soon as he gets about 100 feet down, realizes he's an idiot and drowns to death. But at the very end, there are voices telling him that he was an idiot to do this, and it was Cthulhu themselves.
Can I get a Rulia? Rulia! All right, here we go. Here's some more music. Check it out.
Hi, we're Marlene Chick. Don't fight us on the Metal Experience. Stuff and metal, docking and banquet chickens.
We are back with the Metal Experience once again. I am Morgan Danielle with Luco Blaze, chuckling, chocolatey, Charlie.
Chocolatey?
Chocolatey.
Jeez, your eyes got wide when you said that. That was weird. You know, when we were sitting at the table eating dinner, you gave me this weird look, and you reminded me of Oscar the Grouch.
Who the fuck are you talking about?
Charlie. For a minute, you look like Oscar the Grouch when he used to poke his head out of a trash can. It was weird. I think it was because of the bushy beard, but you reminded me of a Muppet. It was like a very weird moment. Anyway.
This is the greatest day of my life.
Oh, jeez. Sorry. And we are here with Tenebrism, and we just heard another awesome track. This first song off of the second EP, and what was that track called once again?
A Vision of Relia.
Relia.
Hell yeah.
So when I hear you say Relia, every time I hear you say it, I think of Garth.
Of Garth from Wayne's
Garth
World?
from Wayne's World. It sounds like something he would say.
I like to
say-
play.
You gotta be more timid. That you gotta go. Relia.
See? That sounds totally Garthy. I like it.
Totally Garthy, brah. It's totally Garthy.
Excellent.
well, yeah. Anyway, that was stupid. I got a few announcements. We're winding down the end of the night, so stick with me here because I did, have a lot to catch up on from us not doing a show from last week.
Really quick, Morgan, just to catch everyone up. January 9th, 2014, I wrote, I just ate a block of cheese for lunch. Now I think I'm going to go die.
This was in what year?
January 9th, 2014. I apparently ate a block of cheese for lunch.
Really?
Then I died.
You've made some pretty dumb posts.
I've made some pretty great life choices.
I could probably eat a block of cheese by myself.
Whoa, here it is.
And then you die from an impacted colon.
Okay, here we go. Really quick. Drink
don't
every
think
time
so.
the following occurs. Excessive showing of muscles. Awesome one-liners. Every time Billy does something Indian. Every time there's predator vision. Every time Max shaves.
That's one time.
Every time
twice.
Blaine, twice. Every time Blaine spits. And finally, every time the predator kills someone. So basically the whole time, the whole movie.
We gotta shave some of those rules off, though. You gotta make it
and then
doable.
And then also a waterfall during the
forest.
No, I've done it.
Mowing down.
I've done it every year. You just get super hammered. I mean, it's only a drink. You're drinking the whole rest of the time, but
every year after midnight on New Year's, going into New Year's Day.
No,
and
it's usually leading up to New
Okay.
Year's.
Anyway, we're not going to talk about the Predator drinking game
hammered
anymore.
going into-
I'm going to
Super
mute your
hammered.
microphone.
Come on, get hammered.
Jeez, that was pretty accurate.
That was very
Who
good.
was your daddy?
All
What
right.
does he do?
So the announcements that I got for all of you, starting with Voice of Addiction is having their official Chicago screening of the full-length documentary Punk Band, and they're featured in it, and it's to follow a show that they're also playing at Beat Kitchen with Voice of Addiction, Blood People, Blind Adam, and the Federal League, and Vortis. And that's all going to be happening August 17th. And the screening of the documentary starts at 6:30, but the show afterwards starts at 9. So more information is online about that. Just like Luco mentioned, Glass Hands is playing a show this Saturday at the House Cafe. They're playing with our friends in Contra. Don't forget the Dot. And Torn by Tentacles, Wings of Severance, and Low Country. Tickets are available at the door. And then Without Waves is going to be playing Reggie's on the 23rd. They said that they have a brand new music video out now for Victorian Punishment. The link is in their bio for their Facebook and in Instagram, and they're on tour with Zayas, who's also going to be on our show coming up this year.
Morgan, really quick.
I'm going to mute your microphone.
I wrote, I think next time I'm going to play the game with Jameson as opposed to beer. I really just want to take the game to a whole new level, like the hospital.
Please don't do that. Jameson makes you an even, angrier person.
Someone wrote, "Holy shit, bro! Just hook up an IV." And wrote to him, "Well, if you're not man enough, don't attempt it."
Jesus,
it's just a scratch.
I may die this year. All right.
I ain't got time to bleed.
Shut up. July 15th. That's the end of this week. Through and Through is going to be playing a show at the Fallout. It's $5. Starts at 6 p.m. They're playing with Death Asleep, Bad Blood, Texas Toast Chainsaw Massacre, and Santa. Those are pictures of bleach for the pool. That's a text from Luco. Okay, so
what?
July 14th, Prison City Brigade, Reckless Redemption, and Wicked Deception are going to be playing Bada Brew. I thought this place was going under. I'm so confused. Central Disorder is also playing in still Faith in Vain, and it's 6 p.m., $12 in all ages. And then Surruption has announced that they are premiering a brand new music video for their song Monument of the End, and you can pre-order their new album that's coming out on surruption.net. They're playing Summer Slaughter. Psycho Stick is going to be playing August 12th at the Forge, and this is why I'm announcing this, because it's called the Very Serious Business Tour, and you need to go see Urzin. They are fucking awesome. They are amazing. Luco played a show with them last month. Ridiculous, and I really want to go see them again.
Thank God we played before them, because if you played after
couldn't
them, it was
top
like,
that.
what
There's
the
no
fuck?
fucking way. They are amazing.
How are we supposed to top that?
You can't.
We would have looked like assholes.
They're so good. I saw this
giant
terrible story.
Terrible. Just terrible.
So, a Sydney branch of ABC News reported on a trial in which a woman allegedly attacked 3 people inside a 7-Eleven convenience store with an axe.
What?
And it took place January of 2017, and she was 26. They said that this chick was listening to Periphery's song Flatline before committing the alleged act, claiming that the track contains pretty dark themes, and it clouded. It was mixed with. Hold on.
We're holding. And we're continuing
the
to hold.
The chick's lawyer argued that his client was not guilty on account of mental illness. He stated that she was clouded by a toxic mixture of gender transition hormone medication, cannabis, amphetamines, and alcohol.
Yeah, that'll do it every time.
But it's crazy that they're blaming Periphery's Flatline.
Sometimes when you mix your transgender vitamins, supplements with marijuana and alcohol,
you're in a world of
Wraith announced. All right,
hurt.
Shut up,
Morgan.
You're done. Wraith from Chicago announced that System Overlord is available now on Bandcamp and Spotify. You can check it out now. The album release date for Heed the Warning is going to be coming soon. Outrun the Sunlight are going to be playing Wicker Park Fest on Sunday, July 29th in Chicago, the same stage as Red Fang and Slow Mass. You can check out the rest of the lineup at wickerparkfest.com and on their Instagram. And then also happening, a couple more announcements. Kickstand Productions and Forever Deaf Productions presents Forever Deaf Fest. We got to hear about this a few weeks ago thanks to Peter from Bloodletter, who reached out to us to help promote this. December 7th and 8th, it's going to be happening at the Beat Kitchen in Chicago. It's 17 and up, and it's an all-Chicago festival that will feature some of the best artists from Chicago, including a special showcase from Prosthetic Records. It's a 2-day festival, so like I said, December 7th and 8th. More is going to be announced later, and there's a pre-sale 2-day passes that are going on sale August 17th. So the full lineup and sponsors coming soon. But I know the lineup, some of it, and it is awesome. You're not going to be disappointed. So check out Forever Deaf, DEAF Fest.
DEAF.
And check out the link that Peter from Bloodletter shared earlier. Sad news earlier that I read was Atlanta's Burning is looking for a vocalist, and this was very sudden. But they are looking for somebody that can do vocal styles like As I Lay Dying, August Burns Red, Parkway Drive, Atreyu, older material, Killswitch. They play original music, and they said that they are not looking to get signed or tour, but they're just looking to have fun. They play local, nearby, out of the state shows, and rarely travel over 2 hours. So they're looking for someone who could do screaming vocals and can bring awesome stage presence and crowd interaction.
Stage presence.
The person
like
must be
gifts.
reliable and have means of paying a part of their rehearsal space rent, as well as contributing to having other band expenses such as merch. They must have their own equipment. PA is a plus, but not required. And you can check out their Bandcamp and YouTube for what they have for music that they would want you to learn.
Get an idea of what they sound like.
Yeah, they're awesome. And I want to read this. This is my last announcement. The Guardsmen announced their album track lineup for their next album. So they said, here's what you can expect: album title and artwork coming soon. So what song sounds most intriguing to you? They posted. So here's the 10 tracks going to be on the album.
10? You're going to list all of them?
Well, we were tagged in this because it says, Luco and Morgan, you will be happy to see that Earn Your Shield cut. So 1 is called Catching Up. 2 is called Dark Days Ahead. 3, Live to Die, in parentheses, or Die to Live.
Oh.
Into the Blue, One of the Missing, Hell's Back Door, Halls of the Brave, Fuck, but it's all like
what is it all like?
It's all like numbers and stuff instead of fuck. Fuck
what
the logo.
What numbers are in there?
I don't know. It's like fuck star percentage sign and the logo. So fuck the logo. Let's reclaim Erebor instrumental, Earn Your Shield, and The Road.
The Road.
The Road. So that's the Guardsmen's upcoming albums and the track titles, which I found to be pretty awesome.
All right.
So looking forward to that. Next week, we're going to be inviting American Massacre to be on our show for their first time.
Nice.
That's Bobby Whitaker, who we formerly had interviewed from the Dead Rabbits, who he's not in anymore, but he's back with American Massacre. Brand new music that they're going to be premiering on the show. There's a snippet in the event page that they created this awesome little video GIF thing for us to promote on our social media pages, so you can check that out. And yeah, that's all I got. That's a lot. We weren't here last week, so I had to.
Man.
Oh wow, because I talked so much about real fun things opposed to your Predator drinking game.
That's super fun.
Terribly.
And very informative. Now everyone could go home.
And what
play
I
the
said
Predator
wasn't.
game. Yeah, it was.
Fuck you.
Everyone could go home and play the Predator drinking game. Don't write it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
So
don't do it.
Last but not least, we have one more track from Tenebrism, but you guys actually have a show coming up. So what is that show? Where can everybody find you guys online, and what's next?
It is a special show for a Shannon Devich. It is located in Midway at Redmond Pub on July 29th. And that is the only show we have planned for now.
This show also has Misanthropy, Sarah Viscera, gonna butcher this one, Sacramentium.
Yeah, Sacramentium.
And Short Story Incorporated. Doors at 7, music at 8.
Ooh.
We're on last.
Ooh, headline.
Doors at 7.
There's no such thing
music
as headlining.
At 7:01.
And how much is it? Do you know?
Oh, yes. It is $5 suggested donation. You can put it directly into my pocket,
or is
please.
it like 17 and up?
21 plus.
Nice. And the social media outlets that everybody can find you on to hear your music and follow you at?
We're on the Facebooks.
We have the Facebook. We have the Bandcamp. That tag for Bandcamp is tenebrismextreme.bandcamp.bandcamp.com.
Whoa, Morgan. I got scared for a second there.
Good.
And then check out the Hey Look What I Found band, Iris 13, and the bands we opened up tonight's show with Architects of Ruin and Glass Hands.
And Charlie, what was the band again that you featured for us?
Bionic Origin.
Bionic Orgy.
The greasiest band of the night. And we have one last track that we are going to play from our guest tonight. What is the last track off of the last EP that you released? And it's the last track.
It's called Sunken. Morgan, the EP was called Sunken.
Oh my
EP was called
God.
Sunken. This track is called Drowning in the Fear.
Whoa. More
I
drowning,
think it kind
more
of
water.
speaks
Drowning
to
in my
itself,
fear
yeah.
right now, guys. Get me
you
out
know,
of here.
Lives up to the title of Sunken.
More drowning, more water.
More fear.
A little less Cthulhu. A little less
It's a great
Cthulhu.
slogan.
But this is the steamroller track of this EP, I almost said album.
It's got a lot of groove though, baby.
Oh, yes. If you like Where the Slime Lived by Morbid Angel, you'll like this song.
There's so many good one-liners in
Nice.
those last few. I liked that.
Nice.
Jesus. Great. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for coming out.
No, thank you for having us.
We really
thanks for having us
appreciated
on.
it.
Absolutely.
It's great that we met Wilder for when he came on with Withering Soul, and then we met finally Brandon came in from the Blank Standard. Previously,
I had
but
two
he
opportunities
hadn't,
to
he
come,
hadn't
but I
come,
couldn't make it.
But we knew the Blank Standard, so now you're back with Tenebrism. It just comes
It's
full
it's full circle.
Full circle.
Almost 5 years later.
It's crazy.
And the Blank Standard CD, you are still doing that project. It's kind of like a side project now.
Pretty much, yes.
CD is being released, though, eventually, right?
Yes, we're hoping for a fall release.
Damn!
There's going to be a choir of Eric's children on it, right?
All 5 of them, yes.
All 5 of them in the background. You know, you can auto-tune some of those to sound creepy and stuff.
Yeah,
It'd be
they'll
great.
all be tuned down to.
Oh my God! Please, please, this would be epic. Do it without him knowing too. That'd be even better. Oh, where'd you get those vocals? That's your child when he sleeps.
Those are your children.
He'd be like, yes, that's the most metal shit ever.
Totally.
You
do
said
it.
there were children on this. I didn't hear them. Oh, they were there.
The children of Satan. No. Well, thank you guys for coming out again. It was awesome. And here is the last track of the evening, Drowning in Fear off of
In
Sunken.
the Fear.
In the Fear. I'm sorry. I was just drowning in fear
How
for a
dare you,
minute.
Morgan?
Drowning in the fear. See? See?
Tenebrism.
Off of Sunken. Good night. See you next week. Caw-caw, caw-caw.